Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're all well. I just thought I'd pop on, really for a rant more than anything, to get a little bit of, I don't know, I guess, reassurance, advice. Is everybody else feeling the same? Is it just me, or are we all dealing with the same kind of thing? I'm not sure. I'm currently live, guys, so I'm just letting everybody join. Excuse the state of me. Today is one of them days. We've had countless meetings and it has been a stressful day, to say the least. So I thought I'm just going to take 5 minutes out, have a cuppa, and see what you guys think. Oh, 1 minute. I need to see if this door's open. Oh, it is, Todd. You're lucky. Right. If you can, please like, share, comment, get everybody in, guys. Go on then, Todd. Go down. Do you ever just get the feeling where you just feel so overwhelmed with life in general, like parenting can be rough at times, like it is so precious and so incredible, but other times it can be so rough, and I really feel like today's society is, and the way life is in general these days, doesn't have put the pressure on us parents and grandparents and everybody surrounding any child who are growing up just now. And I also think it's that funny way of, like, I remember being a young teenager and like my parents saying, oh, it was never like that when we were younger, and each generation are going to continue to say the same, and you actually can't even imagine how much will have changed when it comes to Gianna Kine Hudson being older and bringing up their kids and being like, my generation didn't have that. It's the Mondayiest of Mondays ever. But it's also trying to do the right thing as a parent constantly, continually, while having the pressure from, I don't know, like, Cole briefed on it the other night in one of our photo posts, and I think the reason I want to talk about it is because it's, you can sometimes feel like you're the only parent feeling like that, but you actually hope that other parents are feeling the same, and sometimes there's situations where you're the overprotective mum because you won't let your kids go up the town or whatever by themselves, but all their friends will, so now you're the one who doesn't let them do the things that they feel like they should be doing at that age. And I remember being a young teenager, and you feel like you've got, you know the world, you've got it all figured out, and you do not need your parents' advice. I remember being that child and feeling like I knew it all, and my parents knew nothing, or they didn't know how I feel. I think that's a big one. You don't know what it feels like. I remember saying that, and now I'm hearing that. But it's also about standing your ground as a parent of, regardless of if 20 of their friends is allowed to do that, standing your ground and knowing that you're doing what feels right for you, regardless of what everybody else is doing. And it's rough, because then you get the mum guilt of, you don't also want your child to be the one that's left out because they're not allowed to do it. Exactly, Tonya. That's why I've always said, and me and Cole will always go on that, it's trust your gut, and if that makes me the bad mum at times because I won't allow stuff, then so be it. Oh, I am so glad there was no social media, not like what it is today when I was growing up. And then you even think to yourself, though, does even some of the parents who are allowing their kids to do it, do they actually want their kids to do that, or are they feeling the same pressure we are? It doesn't stop even when they're grown up. In fact, I feel it gets more scary. Samantha, please don't tell me that. We do. We live in a very judgmental society. And if anything, that kind of boggles me, because you'd actually think that the way society is and the way you can see so much more diversity because of social media, you'd think a lot more people would be, say, less judgmental or more open to hearing, Todd, different things because of social media. Like, not all is bad about social media, and even that has its arguments of should my kids have social media? Are they too young? And I think the hard part is you can never completely get away from social media. It is everywhere. Obviously, it's our job. We absolutely love it. I think it's, as a parent, being strong enough to teach your kids how to do everything safely. And it's hard when you think back to when you were younger, and even some of the stuff we done, you think, oh my God, I would not be happy if I heard Gianna and Kai were doing that. But it's how you learn also, isn't it? Like, you've sometimes got to take a step back and watch them make their mistakes and find their own feet. But it's hard. It is so hard. And trying to do the right thing and not isolate your child is so bloody rough, isn't it? It is, and like, we even try and explain to Gianna and Kai a lot. Gianna's getting more older. Kai, he's still pretty easy-ozy. Gianna's getting that little bit more older. She wants to find her own feet and stuff. Of people are allowed to do this, that, and whatever they want. And I'm like, I know, but I promise you, see, when you're older, you'll thank me that I didn't just let you do what you want. Even looking back now at some things I used to beg my mum for, and she completely disagreed and said no. Now I look back and I'm like, do you know what? Thank you for not letting me do that. Thank you for not letting me get that stupid tattoo on my face or my eyebrow pierce. Like silly things, do you know what I mean? But then also trying to be a parent that you want to allow your child to be able to express themselves. Do you know what I mean? It is, and I think every parent's just got to do what's right for them and their family, and that looks different in every single household. Even, I was just speaking to Hudson's health visitor, he just had his check-up there, and like even me and her were talking about what was right for Gianna as a toddler doesn't work with Hudson all the time, and vice versa. My parents were very, very strict. See, this is the hard thing as well. You also want to give them enough leeway that they know you trust them. Until they break that trust, that's when reprimands or whatever come in. But you've also got to give them that little bit of trust, but in a safe way. And that's the hardest thing, isn't it? Because it's not always them that you fear for, it's other people. It's not that you think they will go out their way to do the wrong thing. It's peer pressure, it's the world around them. It is, it's so hard to keep that peaceful medium. And even growing up, I had some friends and their parents were so strict. And as we grew up, sometimes they actually became the absolute wild ones because they had no leeway whatsoever. But it doesn't always work like that. And then you had ones who had complete leeway who weren't interested in doing anything because it wasn't a big thing. And you do kind of get that as you get older, into older to kind of teenage years, that if you say I can't, I will. Abbie, my kids are raising their own children now. I have fun listening to their woes. Every generation has their own problems, but basically it's the same problems. Social media is the bane of this generation. You will survive and your kids will survive. Give them a little bit of independence, but watch them closely at the same time. Don't stress too much. Your kids will be okay. You're doing a good job. Thanks for that, Splat Carter. It is. Parenting is being stuck between a rock and a really hard place. Oh my God, the world of vapes these days is ridiculous, Sammy. Like, it is crazy. It is, and I've even said that to even the likes of Gianna if she's asked to do something that I don't agree with, and she'll say their parents allow, and I'm saying, but that's what feels right for them, and that's what feels right in their family. I'm not even degrading, if that's the right word, of their parenting, but that's not what feels right in our family. And sometimes it'll work the opposite. There'll be something that I feel comfortable with Gianna doing because I know a bit more, and their parent won't. It is, it's hard, isn't it? It is so hard, and try to get that balance. So tell me your best bit of advice you've ever been given. It does. It comes with no rules, no handbook. We're all raw dogging it, as I like to say. My oldest is 20 and I still pick him up when he's been out partying. I don't trust the world around us. 100%. Oh. I know, I think that's a hard thing as well, Carousel is. My mum always thought I was doing these horrible things, but I was a really good kid. Still hurts to think about it. And that's the hard thing. And I think social media definitely enhances that feeling of you parent just now as what feels right, but you always then have that second guess of what if when they're older, that's something they look back on and really hated. Like, will that make... You don't want to be the cause of their mental health when they're older, if that makes sense. But I think social media definitely enhances that because there's so many videos and stuff like that saying, oh, my parents done this and that's why I struggle with that. And it's really hard because you're all just doing what feels right for you in that time, and we don't always get it right. The worst thing is when you open your mouth and your mother falls out. Exactly. Parenting is the best example of winging it. It is, isn't it? Always go with your gut. There's not even a situation. There's not even anything the older kids have asked to do or anything. It's just general thoughts. Just general stuff that me and Cole speak about, especially the older Gianna and Kai are getting. It's just... You just hope you do your best, don't you? 100%. That's what I always tell Gianna and Kai. Like, even when it comes to being academic and stuff like that, I couldn't care what grades. As long as you're a kind person, that matters way more to me than anything. They'll hate the way you did one thing or another. 100%. See, that's the way I try and do it, Joe Sunflower. Can you do half and half? Like, if the kids want to go to town with their mates, you could arrange going to town and letting them join with their mates for a period of time, say an hour, then meet back up in a coffee shop or Maccadees an hour later. If they come back on time, then make the time with their mates longer as they prove you can trust them coming back on time. Absolutely. And it's like Cara just said, like, her parents always thought she was doing the worst, but she wasn't. She was actually a good kid. And you want to give your kid that credit as well, that you have brought them up right, that they will make the right decisions, and that won't always be the case. Everybody is human. We've all made bad decisions in our life, and it is how we grow. But you also don't want to take everything away from them, preempting as if they are a bad child when they're not with you. Because you can't control everything. You just hope that you've taught them enough to do the right thing when they're not in your company or an adult's company. Compromising is everything. Absolutely. Trust is earned. You do. All you want is for your kids to be happy, don't you? Oh, yes. Sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. Children need two people singing off the same song sheet, Abbie. Absolutely. And do you know what? That's one thing me and Cole are actually really good at. I'm not going to lie, there are different things Cole's a lot more strict on than what I am, but the kids would never really know that. Like, if Cole says no to something, even if I would have been like, yeah, you can do that, I will have Cole's back. That's a conversation for me and Cole to have when the kids aren't in our presence. Like, I would never say in front of the kids, Cole, that's silly, they can do that. And vice versa, if there was something I said they could or couldn't do and Cole disagreed, we would have that conversation without the kids being there. Like, that's a conversation for the adults to have. 100%. Pick your battles. That's it. And picking your battles in the safest possible way that settles your mind, but also giving them enough rein to be them and express themselves. 100%, Donna. 100%, Becca Jane Bowen. And in parenting, like he's 12 now, but it's all the first still. Like the first time he asked to go out on a bike ride on his own. It was a first, if that makes sense. Absolutely. That's the thing. You always think of a child's first as them taking their first steps, sleeping through the night, sleeping for their first night in their bed. But it's not. It's a continuous of firsts of the first time Gianna asked, can I go uptown with her friends? The first time she asked, can I come with you to get your nails done? Like, it's constant first. Can I go to the park and play football with the boys? Are you, Cole, and their dad usually on the same page? Kids try to play one side against other. As a whole, absolutely we are. Obviously, there are some differences, but there's two full family homes, so it's going to be different in some respect. But as a whole, absolutely, we speak all the time. So if there's something that we feel, right, so-and-so is asking to do this, I don't agree with it, so please, if they're at your house asking for that, I'd respect if you don't, and vice versa. You just got to work together. Right, well, I'm away just now, but I am going to jump onto the home page and show you what's going on in the bathroom. Have we chosen tiles? Is there anything happening? Or what's going on? But thanks for the chat. If you have, write any advice. What was the best advice? Or what do you think your best kind of move in parenting? And even parents to older kids, like what do your kids thank you for now? Or what do they tell you now they wish you hadn't done? And it's hard. Parenting is tough. But I'll see you over on the Cole and Abbie homepage. Hasta la vista.